Welcome to the Red, White News Show with Dean McMurray, the military media.
Good morning, Fargo Moorhead. How are you on this rainy Monday morning, the end of September 2019? And in the studio, I have Kasey Brush with the Army National Guard. Kasey, good morning. And our resident do-gooder, Patrick Kirby. Patrick, how are you this morning?
I'm awesome. How about you?
I am absolutely tremendous. Thank you for asking. So we got a lot of fun planned. One of the things that I just want to, obviously with the Red, White News Show, we're always focusing on different things when it comes to military and everything else. And we're so thankful to have both of you on the show today. Yesterday, I don't know if you guys are aware, yesterday was Gold Star Mothers Day. So giving awareness to the Gold Star moms out there. And, just a lot of different things. I always like to recap kind of what's been going on. I know not long ago we celebrated KRFF's 15-year birthday. So, happy late birthday. Just kidding. But also, did you know yesterday was the VFW's birthday?
Was it really?
Yeah, I don't even know how old they were. Maybe somebody can...
I got an advanced head on their party.
Oh.
I went to the VFW on Saturday.
Oh, well, there you go.
So I helped.
Nice. So there's a lot of different things going on. I know that... we got some Ghost ticket giveaways. We got some tickets for Ghost coming up here. But I want to knock something out of the road so we can just get on with talking. I want to talk. And you know what? You guys been talking. I haven't even had your mics live, and I feel so bad. And there now. Good morning. Good morning. Now everybody.
Hi.
Instead of
Hi.
like, I think I hear them, Dean. I think. Can you just maybe make them live? You don't even appreciate your guests. What's going on? So we like to get crazy. We like to get jiggy with it. Ooh, as I adjust my mic and it makes squeaky noises. So I told Patrick that if he came on today, that I would buy him lunch. Or I would get him lunch. I don't think I said I'd buy you lunch.
I don't think so. I think just get lunch.
So I wanted to do something, and as I bend down here, you really want... So... Patrick. So Kasey, yes, it is.
Yes, it sure is.
So we're going to do a little taste test today after we get done talking to Kasey and do a live on the air. And for those of you that can't see, behind me we got Mevo streaming, so they can see what this is. This is a MRE, so a meal ready to eat, so a military meal, and we're gonna have Patrick. So I've got a lot of years, and so does Kasey, of experience of eating this. Have you ever had an MRE?
This is one of my.
Is it a bucket list?
It's a bizarre bucket list.
Ooh.
But I've always
I'm so excited.
wanted to, because everybody says, it's not as good as you think it is.
Well, they changed.
And that's not, yes.
They've changed a lot. They have came a long way.
Yeah,
me.
they have. They really have. I will say that. But, yeah, so we don't have a lot of time, obviously, on the show, so we won't be heating it up. And obviously, in the studio, it can become quite rank.
Yes.
So we're not going to stink it up for the next show. And we'll take out the trash, trust me. But it's going to be fun. But I want to talk about the Guard a little bit. So Kasey Brush with the Army National Guard. And Kasey, you're in recruiting retention.
Yes.
Currently, and for those of anybody that doesn't know what that is, she's a recruiter. And you focus mainly with the prior service folks, right? Anybody that meets the criteria of re-enlisting with the Army National Guard.
Correct.
That served in any capacity with any of the branches in the military.
That is correct.
You are one of the reps that focuses primarily on those folks.
Yes.
And helps them out. So I'm holding like a cool poster that you brought in with obviously your business card on it, but it's you said a prior service bonus, $20,000 if MOS qualified. And for those of you that doesn't know what MOS is, that's military occupational specialty. So like if you're a combat engineer or maybe infantry, although they don't have infantry in the state of North Dakota that I'm aware of, but or maybe something else that fits the unit that you're trying to enlist with. And if you're MOS qualified, $7,500 if not MOS Quad. That's still a big chunk of change.
It is a big deal. It is.
So, an affordable health insurance, monthly premiums, member. If it's only you, it's $47.90 a month. Member and family, it's $210.83. And I know that those are good rates as well if somebody is looking for. And Patrick is, he's like, and I don't know how to break it to his wife because, I know he wanted to sign up with you here before we left. So
I feel like based on the wonderful family member premiums for health insurance alone,
right.
This might be a little more intriguing. I think if she saw that,
right, she'd be like, well,
a little bit.
Right.
Yeah,
she might push you towards the line.
Yeah.
I would honestly say that's probably one of the bigger pushers is
Right.
the healthcare.
Now, talk about a little bit about what's going on. It's always changing. I remember even back in the days when I was recruiting, and it's always changing from year to year, right? The benefits and even sometimes daily. Not always, but quite often. What are some of the bennies now that the Army National Guard specifically is offering for college benefits?
We pay 100% in-state tuition.
Wow.
Yes.
I mean, wow. So now is that just covering a 4-year education or?
Yes. Well, we cover each. So you can get a bachelor's, you can get a master's, or you can get associates. You just can't get 2 of each.
Okay. So very cool. That's huge.
That's massive.
Thousands upon
dollars,
thousands. Yes. Very cool. And I know that just from experience, that's also a big draw as well. And we're not going to take away, obviously, right, the draw of those that just want to feel that patriotic pull, right? And saying, you know what, I want to serve my community, my state, my nation in some capacity. And hey, I can serve right in my backyard or maybe I need to drive to Valley City or whatever unit he or she is looking at. So what are some of the things that the Guard is doing? What are some of the cool programs that she's giving me like, Dean, you're putting me on this.
There's so much.
I know.
There's so much.
What is something that you wanted to highlight or speak of?
For me, I honestly think it's camaraderie. When you go from state to state, we have a new recruiter here in North Dakota, and he was in a different state for recruiting, but he said it's like night and day, from different states, depending on the jobs and whatever else. But he loves it so much over here because you can go to a unit and everybody's happy. Right. Everybody enjoys what they're doing.
Right.
And we're always there for each other. And I think that's the hugest push for us in North Dakota is the camaraderie for everybody.
Right. Well, and that was interesting when I came Guard from active duty Army. That was one of the things that really just knocked me over, right, was really the sense of family. Because truly you are serving in some instance with I've seen in some instances where they're serving literally with their brother, or whether it's their neighbor or family member or close friend or whatever, or they become close friends, right?
Right.
And, and I think that's a thing regardless in the military is the relationships. And I know, Patrick, and fundraising and doing the things that you talk about relationships, how important they are, right? And that development.
Yeah, it's crazy because I think a lot of past military, you went to serve with your community, right? Yeah. So you'd go overseas and you would be paired, you trained from the minute you signed up to the minute you got on whatever beach to whatever place you were going, you served with your neighbor. It was like you were your brother's keeper while in combat. And I think as sort of national recruitment, and now everybody kind of takes and they all show up from all different walks of life. Guard seems to me going back old school to that Vietnam War style of military service where you are actually working alongside your neighbors, brothers, sisters, etc.
Yeah, it is huge that way. Yes, absolutely.
Now, I know a lot of times too is, some guardsmen and women that are listening today saying, I know the organization continues to grow and it's such a large not only employer within the state, but really the mission, right? And it's interesting, and I forget the figures, but I know that for the Army as a whole, the Army National Guard as a national service makes up a large majority of the Army's engineer force. And I wasn't aware of that because the active Army's engineer force is very small. And so it's interesting, right? So that, and of course, we're not even talking about the Army Reserve, because that's a completely different animal.
Yep.
But that's part of the same family, right? And so, there's so many components to the whole, but at the same time, focusing on what's right in front of us. And I know that within the Army, it's kind of dictating some changes within the Army National Guard. I know that now are you guys falling in line with the new Army physical training standards?
Yes. So our new physical training, we're actually doing like a diagnostic, so like a test of it,
right,
in May, I believe.
Okay.
They're still trying to change things a little bit, but
Sure.
we had a few recruiters go do it, and they said it wasn't bad at all.
Really?
No.
Okay.
And they said, which is kind of funny, they said us older guys did better than the younger kids. So I thought that was pretty funny.
Okay.
But
So for those that are not aware, the old standard for eons was 2 minutes of push-ups, 2 minutes of sit-ups, and a 2-mile run. And then it had standards on your height and weight and everything. But according to your age, then, hey, you're supposed to get this for this many percentile. Now it's more like, how do you want to?
They're trying to make it more endurance-based.
Yeah, like a CrossFit almost, right?
Kind of, yep.
And so it's more endurance-based, right? So they're seeing different things within theater, saying we don't really see the need for somebody to do. Why are we testing people with 2 minutes of push-ups? And I know change is painful for everybody, and especially in the military, I get it.
Yes.
But at the same time, we understand it's necessary to stay relevant in today's world. You need to change, right? Because otherwise
absolutely.
you become another Blockbuster or Toys R Us.
Yeah.
And I know that's a poor example for the military, but at the same time, you go by the wayside and saying, you might as well be carrying muskets and everything, and dynamics change in the theaters of combat and everything else. So I think that we get right on with the shenanigans. I really think that we should. So I'm
so excited.
I know I am too. So I kind of prepped it for those of watching through Mevo and maybe listening on. I'll kind of give because it's like, really, Dean. So I'm just going to be eating on air, and it's going to be kind of fun. And so and I don't want you to really see what's in it. Oh, you really can't. So we're going to keep this over here, and.
I hope I can parlay this into an actual TV show of me just going around and eating
right.
MREs
It's like
for my life.
So okay,
Should I just eat it with the bag facing out?
Yeah, I think that would be a good one. Here you go. So there's that one.
How do I? All right.
Oh, so you can.
Do you want me to come help?
Here's a.
Well, there seems.
Do you
to
got
be,
a knife?
No.
Or here's scissors.
The old Army way.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, yeah. So that'd be a full test. So they're attempting
I
right
would
now.
Fail. Okay.
Oh, so
don't
he's
want to.
getting a block of instruction here how to
It's literally a
sealed meal pouch.
meal pouch. I can't see. There's no. Oh my Lord! What is that?
Okay, I want you to smell it.
Okay, it kind of smells like beef stew. If I was to buy a can of beef stew,
Yeah. Okay.
it looks exactly like a can of Alpo.
Right.
Like if you feed your dog.
I was kind of hoping that she would pick a meal that
There is
that looked
literally
like that.
nothing that distinguishes this from what I feed my dog Grover when he has tummy troubles. So
right. Yes.
usually I feed him dry food.
That looks like something that would...
All right, it's now gone from like smelling like beef stew to smelling like dog food as I'm talking about it, and I'm mad.
Okay.
And this is going to be lukewarm. No, this is going to be room temperature.
Room temperature, because we didn't warm it up with the meal heater that's in here. So
I've gone from excited to deeply concerned in one. Okay, I'm going to.
There is a trash right here by your feet. So, I don't see him caking. Oh, there's a bottle of water, by the way. That's for you guys.
You know what? I'll be honest.
These both are for you.
I think. Well, first of all, you got a great taste tester because I will eat stuff out of a can without warming it up anyway.
Really?
Like oversalted processed things as a thing.
It's perfect.
Okay. If you are a fan of processed canned things
in a bag
in bag form,
yes,
this is actually not as bad. Like if you heated this up and put it over mashed potatoes.
It would be good.
It would be really good.
really
You know what?
great.
Soldiers
And-
always say it kind of tastes like Dinty Moore.
yeah, Dinty Moore. Yeah.
It's exactly what.
Yeah,
yes.
exactly.
But
Yeah.
do they have the big fat chunks
Well,
of
I was just
fat
gonna
in there
say-
like the old school?
This is not grade A
Beef.
prime rib that
No.
you're eating. It is very not
Is
that.
it kind of gritty?
There's a little chew to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah,
Now, if you could
So-
take a guess, what do you think it is?
Oh,
I think it's beef stew.
Okay.
okay.
Is it not beef stew?
No.
So
Not at all.
Is this really dog food? Are you actually feeding me dog food?
No, no.
Okay.
Well,
You're
I
close,
wouldn't
but
tell you.
it is
Matt,
close.
we'll reveal after. So the next one. So that's the main entree. You had the main
Yes.
entree. This is what main entree is complete without a side. So this
Oh, yes.
this is your side.
All right, I'm going to
So
try doing it now.
Yeah,
so I've got
so-
the routine where I
what it is.
see what
Yep.
this. Yeah. And again, I like that the packages are camouflaged so that
yeah.
no enemy.
And until they hear you retching
Until
in
they
the,
retch
in the bushes.
Oh, no.
Be like, who?
Are you scared?
Yeah. So this
Congealed.
is clearly macaroni and cheese that has been. No, is it
you-
scalloped potatoes? Oh yeah, I bet it is. This is where you made scalloped potatoes for dinner. This is what this looks like. You made scalloped potatoes for dinner last week. And then you're cleaning out your fridge and you're really hungry and you're like, hey, I should probably eat those scalloped potatoes. And then you open the bag and they're all squeezed together but I'm going to eat it anyway.
Or everything's separating?
Oh, that's not good. That is not good.
Oh, come on.
No, that's,
One more bite. Come on.
I'm going to eat one. Yeah. Oh boy. That's,
That'll make your grub
you may
bacon
want to, you may want to pass on the actual, oh boy.
Is that a no-go?
You know, I gotta share when I
Yeah.
talked to Kasey about coming on. I was like,
You never smelled it.
oh my God, can you bring in an MRE? And she was like, oh yeah, I might have one laying around. And then Patrick answered, and I was like, there's not there. I couldn't have asked for anybody better because I was like, as far as I know, he has no experience with MREs, and
No.
I was like, oh my God. And so
I'm going
here's
to taste that tomorrow.
Oh,
Like
here,
that's gonna
here's
take
something
a
good. Here's
Okay. You'll feel it
to
later.
cleanse your palate with.
Ooh.
That's a good one.
Okay.
And then once you get that open, we'll allow you to
All right.
open the next piece.
All right.
Don't eat the little tiny package that comes with
What is
it.
is this a toaster strudel? What is?
No, that one's not a toaster.
Is this
so
a-
that's not a Pop-Tart.
Hey, it's not a Pop-Tart?
No,
Yeah.
no. It's
Oh.
it's a bread. Here's
Yeah.
some
It's a
grape.
bread.
Here's some grape jelly for you.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow, you could not get
might
any
want to need that a
more
little bit.
dry
Otherwise, it might be a little watery.
than anything. That might. So when reading history books, and you always think of like how people survive, how armies survived,
Right.
and they always used like hardtack,
Yeah.
like back in
Oh.
the day, and they describe hardtack as a flavorless, gritty sort of thing. And they haven't modernized that. That's essentially you've taken Revolutionary War like things and
Yeah.
you've made it into a.
It's, just
It's not
grape-
better with
it's-
jelly.
it's jelly.
You know,
No.
It's dry.
usually
Yeah,
Bread.
dry.
traditional
Oh my
soldiers
God.
do, they heat up the meals and then they'll actually eat it with the bread.
Right.
I can understand
so,
why now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because
Oh my
It's
God.
just so
Yeah.
blah.
Okay.
Have you ever needed to soak up a spill?
Right.
I feel like you
It's-
could use this bread
it's like-
that I've just eaten several bites of.
It's like a commercial sponge.
Who needs Bounty when you have
Right.
MRE bread?
Could you see that?
Yeah.
That would be a make or great.
That
like,
is okay.
the
That's
quicker-
another interesting one. Okay.
the quicker picker upper.
Uh-huh.
Okay, here's one.
I mean, the jelly's not bad.
I got it. Oh, sorry. I don't even know what the last. Okay.
Oh God.
Anyways,
You're giving me something you don't know. Okay.
well, I know what the first, but I don't know what the last word means. But anyways, we'll figure it out.
we're
We're learning together,
Yeah, we are.
Patrick.
Oh my.
Oh,
What is that?
those are good.
Okay, this seems like a dried fruit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are.
It's cranberries.
Oh, yeah.
But what's osmotic? Turn it around and read it. Cranberries.
Osmotic. Oh.
Osmotic.
Maybe it's the meaning of dried.
Yeah,
In a different word.
I don't know. Maybe somebody's out there like, it means this
Yeah.
exactly. So
Actually, these are
maybe,
great.
Yeah, maybe it's the chemical they
I would
put
like
in it
these
to
snacks.
keep it. Yeah, well, sometimes they are pretty decent. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, this is a new one for me. Like
like
when
that
I
one.
started going through this, I was like,
Oh,
when did they
yeah.
start putting
Yeah.
Twizzler
Oh,
nibs?
See?
Nibs.
No, there you
Now, every
go.
once in a while, this is what usually what soldiers
Yeah.
fight over is you get
Oh,
candy.
yeah.
The candy.
They try to buy it from each other.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, what'd you miss?
Okay.
Peanut butter.
Oh, we
I
missed
did
peanut
miss
butter.
peanut butter?
You'll have to test the
gives me an
peanut butter.
excuse to eat
Sorry,
more of
my.
this delicious hardtack.
Did you get
This,
what did you get, beverage mix?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have beverage mixes that you get in there
Oh
too?
yeah.
And you just pour water in it, mix it up.
Okay.
Mix it up.
Yeah. Do you want to
That's
give
great.
That a try?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, not really, but I
Sure.
I totally
so
do.
it's like, why not get? There's a pair of
So-
scissors.
Best of everything.
So when you're, are you training with this as well? Do you get to do you go on little? How do you? So when you're doing training,
Yes.
Yeah.
right? And you're out in the field training, or
Yeah.
you're on. Do you get this
Yes.
as well?
A majority of the time, yes.
Really?
Unless they have meals for us delivered,
Right.
but
It
depends
depends
on where
what the
we're training.
the ration cycle,
Yeah.
right? So.
All right.
So yeah, and
actually
especially during the winter too, there's different things. So you think about there's different meals the military has. There's Foley, there's LERP meals, there's completely cold weather meals, and if you think of in the winter, what the challenge is a lot of these that have moisture in it. So like the jellies and stuff, they can freeze.
Yeah.
So there is a freezing point to some of these. So they always have to be cautious and depends on what the soldiers are doing. But a lot of times when the soldiers would go out, say, for annual training,
Yep.
we'll say Camp Grafton and Devil's Lake, right?
Yeah.
And so they'll set up field kitchens, which is a big trailer that unfolds, right? And they serve hot meals. And then they'll augment, maybe you'll have your lunch will be this. And, whatever the ration cycle is, they call it. And so just from basic training, they know that we're like soldiers and excuse me for saying this, but kind of like monkeys, right? They just throw bananas at you and you'll figure out how to open it.
Right.
And everybody just kind of watches each other and through trial and error, you figure it out.
Yeah.
But the people that are experienced, there's some connoisseurs of the MRE and they know what to mix and what not to mix. And there's some people that can really make an MRE meal taste pretty well.
Well, I know when I was in Iraq in 2004, we actually used the microwave
Oh, there you go.
because it just didn't taste right. Heating it up,
Right.
and we ate them so much. That was the best thing to do. Is just stick the meal in the microwave, and it tasted way better.
Right.
So
Yeah.
when you're in Iraq,
Yes.
see, this is what fascinates me about this, and maybe you can talk from a logistics standpoint. What on earth? How do you do that? How do you mobile? Like, how many people were with you in
A lot.
Iraq? Like,
We had a lot.
tens of thousands.
No, we had 4 units.
Okay.
So, I mean, maybe 400 people. But I was in headquarters unit, and I did HR. My background's HR, so I'm pretty. But I didn't go out in the field. I didn't go see any of the bad stuff. Each job is different. So,
Right. But
some
like,
guys,
but
some
like,
crazy
so you're
stuff.
in the middle of you're in the middle of a foreign country, and you've got to feed 400 people 3 times a day. The logistics of getting food in and out of there has got to be ridiculous.
It was crazy. We had actually 2 chow halls on the camp that we were on, but we didn't get the second one till later. But the first one was the Army one, and at first they had civilian contractors come in. So they had Halliburton, which is out of Texas.
Sure.
So they had all those contractors that were helping with that chow hall,
I gotcha.
and then
Okay.
the Air Force came and gave us.
And you think about it, which is so interesting, is you think about pallets upon pallets upon pallets of these rations being shipped overseas or flown, right? Coming in on transport planes, being offloaded at these, logistics centers or hubs, and then they get distributed to all these units like Kasey was talking about, and then distributed down to the units and down to the troops.
Yep.
And you think about the thousands upon, millions really,
Right.
of meals that goes, and you got to keep these soldiers fed, right? And it's not just the civilian contractors, but the military contract with whoever, the different companies, because there's different companies that make different components to the meals, and then they assemble them. And so, a lot of people ask, well, and not that I'm an expert by any means, but the thing is saying that, why is the budget so high? And saying, well, let's just take meals, for example.
I don't think I've ever actually thought about that from a
Right.
logistics
You
standpoint.
break
Like,
it down.
how big the base is in Iraq? How big is the Army base or the military base in Baghdad? Like, it's
They're pretty big. I
It's
mean, I was on
big.
Camp Spiker. We were over by Tikrit. Iraq.
Okay.
So, I mean, there's like units out of, I think, Ohio there with us. We were under the Big Red One. So we fell under them.
Okay.
So they kind of helped coordinate with everything else
Sure.
for that base. So there's a lot that went into it. A lot.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy how much.
Well, and then you're just talking about meals, right? What about the bottles of water?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we had cases.
Cases upon cases
of water.
They got to drink water.
Right.
So you think of
and
just
how do you travel with that? So like you're going from. See, that's the other thing that drives me insane. Like mentally thinking about moving an army,
Right.
an army.
There's so much
from point A to point B.
right.
Like the logistics of that alone, which is why I think the idea of like total global war at this point is so mind-boggling. Like when you think about you landed in Europe, right? World War II, right? Giant land invasion.
Yeah.
The number of things that had to follow you. Not
Yeah.
only the bodies, like
Right.
getting
Right.
people onto shore, but everything else,
Yep.
and then
Yep.
setting up camp,
Yep.
and then going out and doing stuff like that.
Yep.
Is crazy to me.
Right. Now, Kate, didn't you, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't you also do some assistance within the S4 as well?
I did kind of back and forth. I was like a floater.
And for those that are not aware what the S4 is, there's different echelons within the Army, right? And the S4 is really at the brigade and battalion levels. And when you get to division, it's like a G4, right? But really that is where your logistics are with your in-house logistics. So when we're talking about meals, when we're talking about water, ammunition, building supplies, barbed wire, all the stuff that you need to support operations, whatever you're doing. And it could even be anything from pencils to bullets and anything in between. It's mind-boggling when it's like, God, I didn't even think about that. But we live our lives and we don't think about what other people need. So take that and equate that to modern day logistics. So because we have actually up by the Army National Guard's armory there north of the airport, there's a number of logistics hubs on the civilian sector that you see all these tractor trailers in, and they get either offloaded or loaded to then go to the grocery stores, or they get loaded to go or offloaded, all the stuff going to, let's just take a big box store, right? And isn't that crazy? And we don't even think about it. Hey, it's on the shelf. I have it. And it's like, how does it get from point A to point B? How do you get everything? And it is mind-boggling.
It is.
And but so are you going to try your?
Yeah.
I know it's a great question. It's great dialogue.
Well, as I'm making my Irish cream cappuccino instant powder,
it's going
this is going to be great. I'm very excited. Oh, I can add hot or cold water.
Yeah.
Yep. There.
So I need to just snip up here.
Because this
Nope.
is sealed, so you can shake it.
There you go. Yep. It's one of those.
Oh yeah. This is very
Ziploc
complicated.
Sealy. Yep.
So I'm going to get this nice, delicious
Right.
shake.
It's
Well, I asked
iced
the shake,
coffee.
though,
Right.
and I have a legitimate question as you're recruiting people. What's who talent wise? So we talk about in the nonprofit world, especially where I'm sort of my life is 99% of it is there is a recruitment shortage. You can't find talented people to fill as many spaces as we have here in North Dakota, especially we've underemployment. So you probably have similar challenges when you're trying to recruit.
We do,
there.
but we don't, because everybody's got different interests,
Right.
And we train you.
So
We train you to do the job.
Right.
And then what sort of talented individuals are you looking for? Like, who are you? Like, what are the skill sets that you're on the lookout for constantly?
Driven. I think just driven people.
Really?
Honestly, I mean, if you're willing to learn, then we want to work with you and help you get where you want to be. Because I know, like my girl, trades. He always says that's the biggest thing. Highest paying jobs right now are trade jobs.
Right.
That's what the Guard does.
Right.
We teach you trades.
So and I think that's, Kasey was talking about, there's different dynamics too, right? So with the recruiters, when they come in, they're looking at a list of criteria that their potential people that they want to work with meat. That just sounds yummy. And why do iced coffee should only be offered to the civilian population when out in the field in Iraq or Afghanistan you can have your own iced coffee
And you can just in a
should
chorus of 400 people in the field,
right?
you can
It'd be
just
like so there.
shaking up an instant cocoa powder.
It's like right.
Yep.
And it's like
I love it.
So.
Let's.
But, talking about the skill set, talking about it's different even at the unit level because when they come back from training, the unit members or those supervisors are hoping that they're looking for certain people to fill, scratch that itch. So,
Well, and we have so much turnaround too right now with
Right.
because being AGR, which acronym
Yep.
Active Guard Reserve.
Reserve,
So
yep.
you're active duty, but you're guard, but you belong to the state of North Dakota.
Right.
We're gonna have so much turnover in the next 5 years that
Yep.
we need to start training more and more,
More
of these
and
people
more, yep.
to replace us. So
yep. And it's a great program.
Mm-hmm.
All
Well,
right,
let's see Patrick
right.
enjoy his
Irish cream cappuccino, instant powder. I'm going to drink from the package as if I'm in the field.
Right.
This is really.
He's not gagging.
I've had exponentially worse things in my life, and that
probably
is
not that
not bad.
Good.
That's like
No.
cold cocoa.
It's cold. It's
Like-
chocolate milk.
Yeah, there
It's
you
like,
go.
It's like
Yeah.
It's like my kids didn't finish chocolate milk for dinner,
Right.
and I just swooped up after.
Swooped up.
Yep.
Yep. So it's like,
I'm gonna take a second
I'll
drink.
finish-
That's not bad.
Well, and the water, full disclosure, the water that I did grab from the gas station did come out of the cooler. So
It did, yeah,
it's
that-
not sitting in the
no.
sun all day.
Oh.
It's not hot,
See, that's
right?
another thing you don't think. Here, I'm in the desert.
Yeah, right.
I'll just cool off with this nice iced cappuccino.
when it's a hot
It's
coffee.
usually
Yep.
hot.
Let's make hot
Yeah, it's
coffee.
like everything is hot.
Hot.
So I'll give you this too, Patrick. This is a little accessory pouch. Now, usually this one didn't come with it. Sometimes there's a little tiny Tabasco in there.
sure.
We don't have them anymore.
Oh, Tabasco.
We haven't
Tabascos?
seen the mini Tabascos in here
Oh.
anymore. There are. I'm trying to remember what they replaced them with. There's so many.
So he's pulling so many things out. So there's
Oh, and then he has a beverage cranberry. grape
so
mix.
let me show you the proper way with those
Oh,
tissues.
yes.
So you can leave them out of the
Okay, yes. Okay.
So a lot of people wonder because they're like, really, I'm supposed to use these, and they they're so tiny. Whether it was at about 4x4 or
Yeah.
6x6. So really, to make it go farther, what you do is it's like I don't know, half ply. So what you
that's
do?
giving it way too
so
much
so
credit.
so really, what you do is like this. And then what you do is you take the middle out of it. And so when you're going to the bathroom, it's really like this, Patrick. And then you can come
boy.
up around and then just like that.
I'm utterly disturbed.
Messing with you.
I'm utterly disturbed. And
was-
here's the funny part.
I
have
was
the
like
same
a-
questions.
It's funny
But-
though. A lot of soldiers would put that in their pocket just for toilet paper.
Right. Well,
You know,
and
it's
it is
crazy.
toilet paper.
It is.
But there's not a
Double
lot
napkin.
here.
It takes
Yeah.
both.
Yeah, a napkin, but you have a wet nap there, a wet towel.
That
Yes.
is very nice. That
Well,
they
and then the
gum.
And
Okay,
gum.
Well, they always say that because there's so many
Dental hygiene.
carbs in this food.
Yes.
Right.
So they like to tell us that gum is laxative.
Right.
Oh. They don't label it that way.
No.
Right.
But I'm going to pass on bringing this into the car on my way home and avoid chewing it just in case.
Well, and it also serves as dental hygiene
Yes.
too, right? To help
Sure.
break down the food on the teeth. And
this is fascinating.
but it doesn't supersede if there's any dental hygienists or dentists listening today. It doesn't supersede taking care of your teeth.
So I know we used to have those mini bottles. I think they just give you little packets of hot sauce now, and they're not very good. No.
Kind of like the Taco Bell or something.
It's kind of like that, but it's really bland. It's
Oh,
like
like
it's
watered
not a
down?
yeah, it is. So it's not very fun.
You know what? I'll be honest. I was expecting way worse.
Really?
And I'm not. That's not bad.
Well, there
I
you
might
go.
have the palate of the backside of a cow, though. So
Well,
I might not be a best
we
judge of it.
we appreciate you being a good sport with that. That was so fun.
Would you
That's-
really like to know what you ate?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was
Oh yeah,
Is
the
that-
big reveal.
This is beef brisket
beef brisket. Sure.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I guess they can call it
Yes.
that.
and all gratin potatoes.
Oh, gratin
Yes.
potatoes.
And it
Nailed
sounds so nice. Beef
Yeah.
brisket entree gravy with seasoned beef brisket slices.
Yes.
And warfighter
want-
recommended, warfighter tested, warfighter approved.
Wow.
So-
Well, I'd like to be on the marketing team for that because I think that takes more
You know,
creativity.
and it's crazy. They actually have chefs that design all this stuff. for
Oh,
us.
sure.
Sure.
A huge chef kitchen.
Yeah.
Now you have kids at home, right?
I do.
Well, there's an extra one here.
Yeah,
If you'd
so
like to
there you
take it
go.
home
I
with
would
you
love
and
to.
have fun with your kids.
In fact, they are. Yes, I will. We'll play Army.
There you
And
go.
I'll have them go up in their treehouse.
There you
and
go.
eat
I can give.
kids
survive for the week.
dig it up.
Yeah.
Kids dig it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even if it tastes like roadkill, they love it.
You can
Right.
play a
They
game
love
with
it.
It's just like those jelly
Yes.
bellies that taste really gross.
We
And you have
could-
to spin a wheel. It's kind of like that.
It is. Oh, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Well, this is great. I approve. This is
Medium in the house. I got the do-gooder himself, Patrick Kirby, wearing the chrome dome of knowledge, and Staff Sergeant Kasey Brush with the Army National Guard. So, welcome back, guys. And how you feeling, Patrick?
I'm feeling
after that
great.
MRE? So we fed Patrick lunch.
Mm-hmm.
We, the nice MRE, and he's snacking over there on his cranberries.
the dried cranberries.
I mean,
phenomenal.
right? Well, you got to have some roughage to keep you,
Really, a regular.
I'll
I'll give you an update about 7 hours from now. We'll
right?
see what happens.
Like,
oh.
I think that's so awesome. So Kasey brought in some gear, and I was like, "Oh, wouldn't it be fun to bring in some gear and have Patrick try to put some of it on or put it on and see what he thinks." And so you have your IFAC over there.
All right, I'm going to get up for this.
So for those of you that don't know what's going on, so Patrick right now is wearing the helmet, and then he's putting on the body armor. Now, the body armor doesn't have the ballistic plates in it. However, he is...
This is so confusing. If you've never put on a vest,
it's like...
this is...
I'll do kid proof.
well, and usually it's without the helmet.
Yeah. I have to laugh at this right now.
Oh, man. So... And it's all being
If you ever
streamed.
needed, if there was a zombie apocalypse and I'm up on the north side of Fargo and you're like, Pat, we need you to get into full Army gear. Just don't wait on me. I'm going to be
just go.
Really.
Just go. Yeah, this is just hilarious. So there you go. Oh yeah,
Just hang on.
you're looking ready to save the world.
Here, hold this up.
He's getting dressed.
Do you do this by yourself?
Huh?
Do you normally do this by yourself, or do you have a handy helper that helps you get dressed like you're
Put it
getting?
down.
Okay.
Well, you're supposed to have a battle buddy typically, but usually you can most people know to. After a while, you figure it out for yourself to throw it
Well,
on.
the way these things have changed.
You're right.
How they are supposed
And
to be.
full disclosure, Pat, they didn't have these when I was in, so I'm like, this is kind of new.
They were different when I
They
went
were
in, too.
different, yeah. So
right.
a lot more coverage around
You
the.
like
There you go. So it's kind of like a corset.
how
It's-
heavy is this?
I don't even, with the plates in, I don't remember what they said, like up to 50 pounds.
Yeah,
isn't it? I think
something like that. So 30, 50 pounds. So it's
This
kind
is-
of. Now try to breathe in that.
You know what we should have did? We should
Right?
have had to try to make them eat with wearing that.
Yeah.
Oh, see?
That's-
See, there you go.
So-
You
so
look.
yeah, I look good.
You
be
do.
honest.
You do.
This makes me.
It's a little.
I'm looking at my at my reflection, and I look exactly
We'll
the way
get
that
some
you
good
think
photos.
I would look.
It would.
So 50 pounds of this stuff, and then you got to run and do stuff like combat.
Yeah, yeah.
And in Iraq, when I wore that all the time, you get to the point where you don't even notice you have it on anymore.
Right.
I would
At
notice. It's heavy.
At first you
Notice.
do, but after a while you just get used to
Yeah,
it.
you don't even notice it's there.
Because they make you do physical training in it. They make you do because you need to get used to it.
Oh.
And yeah, at first you're like completely shot, but
You should sit down.
over time it's
I'm gonna sit.
Let,
I'm gonna
let me
sit
know
down.
how you
Ken,
feel.
so-
You sit down.
This is not.
this is modeling the next level of
Oh,
how's that?
geez, then you get the.
See, it's for posture too, right?
No,
so like
no.
you're just sitting straight
Imagine
up.
you have a plate of food in front of you.
I like the. Well, yeah.
It's like you can't really slouch, can you?
Yeah.
There's no slouching going on. That's
Right.
kind of nice.
It's
Oh man.
yeah.
Well,
give you good posture.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
And that was a common way of how
Yeah.
you'd sit. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
tuck
kinda
hands
put
on
your
and just
hands
I
check
already
in
got
your-
it. I already got.
He's already
Yeah,
got it
see?
going.
Veteran move.
Well, and I think the thing is too is that I think it's something that is just motor muscle movement, right?
I think it is, yeah.
Right.
And so yeah, It's awesome.
Yeah, this is great. Everybody should come and do. So when you're doing like recruiting or you're at events where you've got families or whatever, do you let kids put this stuff on or whatever?
We bring it all the time.
Yeah.
'Cause I used to work in like high school areas. My husband is a recruiter as well, and he works in some high schools. But my husband used to be a drill sergeant, so my husband has his drill sergeant hat. He'll wear it to school sometimes, but we'll bring that stuff with, and then we'll let the students try it on and that kind of thing all the time.
Since your husband's also a recruiter, do you have recruiting contests? Do you try to one up? Okay,
I try to help him, and he tries to help me. We don't want to cause conflict, but we all fight for the same team.
Right,
so,
right.
We always got to play the game. So it's
Love
cool.
it.
Yeah.
No, I love it.
Awesome. Well, just going back to this has been so much fun. But going back to some of the things that the Guard is offering, we talked about, if you're just joining us, we're talking about the prior service bonus for the North Dakota Army National Guard, $20,000. I mean, who can't use that? If you're MOS qualified or military occupational specialty qualified, so maybe your prior service and you're thinking about going back in, give Staff Sergeant Brush a holla. And Kasey, where's your office located?
I am located in the industrial park in Fargo, so 1424 44th Street North.
What's your phone number that they can get a hold of you at the office? They want to give you a jingle.
701-793-9440.
Awesome. Give her a holla or talk to maybe some of the other team. See if you're qualified. And then the $7,500 if you're not MOS qualified. I mean, that's still a nice chunk of change. 100% in-state college tuition.
Right.
I mean, and then again, affordable health insurance, monthly premiums, member only, $47.90, member and family, $210.83. I mean, that's just huge, right?
Mm-hmm.
But on top of that, you get the sweet gear.
You get sweet swag.
You get sweet. I mean,
And
delicious
I
meat.
brought lots of
Delicious.
giveaways.
right? Sweet.
I love it. This is great. Now, I think a lot of people, again, when they think about service or whether they can or can't do, I think maybe even somebody like me, like I would initially say I would serve no purpose whatsoever. Now I'm old, so that has a
Define
thing, like,
old.
Super old, but but when you're looking at people, where you're talking with people about, you said being driven and being motivated those are the kind of factors that you're looking for.
But there's so many different things. So we recruit anywhere from 17 to 35, but we can get age waivers up to the age of 40. Because how the Army looks at it is if you can retire with 20 years of service, you can get in at the age of 40.
Very cool.
And a lot of people that have already been in for prior service, like we had a guy that we ran into and he's like, there's no way I could get back in. And we're like, tell me your story. And he goes, well, I've got 10 years in.
Right.
And we're like, okay, how old are you? And he's like, 42. I said, so technically you're 32 years old. So that's how the Army kind of looks at it.
Sure.
If you're qualified physically, mentally, all that kind of stuff, try it, man.
So you can serve and then re-enlist, and does that count for your 20
It sure does.
into retire?
Yep.
There you go.
Look at that.
Yep.
See?
Yeah.
Why not?
Math.
It's a win-win, right?
Yeah.
And
really cool.
for me, like with the GI Bill, that's another additive, for things.
Right.
But I didn't go to college, so I transferred all my benefits to my kids.
Yep.
So all my kids get to go to school for free.
Right.
Whoa, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
That's
an
a thing?
amazing incentive.
Yes, that is a thing.
I don't think people know that either. That's amazing.
Yeah. So there's
So
many.
if you don't use any of your, is that all the benefits
It's
too?
the
Most
GI
of them.
Bill.
So the
So, like,
GI Bill.
Bill.
So
Yeah.
for us, like when you were deploying, it changes. It goes to 9/11 GI Bill, so the money goes up and stuff like that. But like if you were in and say you enlisted, I just had a prior service female enlist. She's 40 years old, and that was her main purpose. She wanted to get back in so she could transfer her benefits to her kids. So I mean, to me, that's really driven.
Oh, that's
At
crazy.
40,
Yeah.
that's cool as hell.
Oh, that's really cool.
It was awesome.
Yep. So and there's so many benefits, I think, that, it's almost like overload, right? And it's like, so a lot of people don't even understand or even know the total, like really, you really get that? And it's like,
Yeah.
absolutely. There's so many that it's like you can't even cover them all almost.
No, because I mean,
Yeah.
I'll be in 18 years in April, and it took me almost 5 years to understand everything.
Right.
There's so much to take in.
Right. So, and sometimes you're not even in a space. Maybe you don't have kids yet.
Right.
And so maybe initially when you come in, you weren't aware about transferring your GI Bill benefits. And maybe you were single when you first joined, but then subsequently you went on to get married and have kids. And, you know, and then saying later on, 10 years later, saying, oh, I can transfer my benefits if I'm not going to go to college or use them. Absolutely.
Right.
And saying, cool. So there's so many things, nuances to, you know, all the bennies that it's like, it continues, like the hits keep on coming. You know, it's like, but there really truly is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a tremendous lot, or, you know, amount of support and different things. So I just think that's really cool. So what are some things that you have coming up? Are you guys now recruiting retention? You guys don't have to do annual training.
No, we don't. No,
but you still support.
We support our units. Yep, and I support our 188th Army Band.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know that we have a band.
Yes,
and they're pretty awesome.
Yeah, they are.
And then I have our signal support that I help with. So our IT guys.
Yeah,
and they're a pretty small knit unit, but we go out, do stuff with them. We'll grill for our unit members all the time, that kind of thing. So, I mean, they do things for us, so we do things for them. So
very cool.
But we're always busy.
Awesome. So, you know, if you guys are thinking about reaching out, getting some stuff or just information, reach out to Staff Sergeant Brush and the rest of the team out there. Find out if you're qualified, or even if you do qualify. And it never hurts just even to talk to them, because they're great people. And, you know, and just chat with them and see what they can provide for you and your family.
Right.
And so, Patrick, we've been talking to you about, you know, eating meals and wearing cool gear, but what do you got going on? You have the launch of the Do-Gooders University.
I did, yeah.
And how is that going?
Good. We've got our first classes start tomorrow.
Woo!
So the first classes start tomorrow, and then we're going to start unveiling every week. We're going to start unveiling a different class by a different professor in the field. And so this week we're Teresa Lewis. If you've seen her speak, she's an author and she's a speaker around the whole Midwest, actually. She's brilliant. We're doing a class on Gratitude 101.
Oh, nice.
So it's an at your pace, probably takes about 3, 4, 5 hours worth of work. And then you get into her sort of 21 Days of Gratitude course, which is kind of a bonus add-on to that. We're going to do one on appeal writing, board recruitment and retention, kind of like probably some military tactics on how to do that. Event planning, marketing, social media, everything that your nonprofit needs in a 101 course. Downloadable at your own pace stuff. And I'm really excited about that one. So we're going to launch that kind of thing. And then tomorrow, if you got friends in Bismarck, I will be doing my first ever book signing in Bismarck.
Nice.
At Ferguson Books and More at 6:00 p.m. in Bismarck.
Well, get on out there. So certainly, do you have that on Facebook?
I do.
Okay.
I do, yeah.
I will make sure that I share that, because I know there's some friends and whatnots out there in Bismarck that would like to get out there and check that out.
Be awesome.
And if you don't know, I mean, obviously Patrick is the hostess with the mostest over at the Do-Gooders Radio. And then also check out his book.
Yeah.
Right?
I did.
And so check out his book and everything else that he has going on. And Do-Gooders University, correct? That's the name?
Do-Good University. Do-Good YOU University.
Oh, there
So
you
you
go.
can find that on. Yeah, it's kind of because fundraising is personal.
Right.
But anyway, it's going to be really cool, and I'm really excited about it. And yeah. Appreciate it. So.
Right. It's so cool when the stars align. And thank you so much for being a guest co-host. It is
you
fun.
You need me as a guinea pig for anything else.
I'll certainly reach out, because we've been talking, and we got some shenanigans planned. So if the weather cooperates, we're going to have some fun and do some other fun stuff. But yeah, absolutely, we'd love to have you back on. Yeah. So thank you guys for being on today. So on the Red, White, and You radio show. So thank you guys for listening. As always, we're wrapping up another great week, and obviously the end of the month. And next month, we're kicking off October with Tara Argel, who is the founder and creator of Trailblazing Communications. And we're going to be talking about that. And then also, well, I don't have any crazy, scary music, but we got Mel from Haunted Farm. He's going to be in the studio. So if you think of those, the haunted location, so he's going to be in the studio talking about everything scary, and maybe we'll have a wicked clown come in. I don't know. Great. And Kasey's over there like, hell no. I'll chase somebody down with a gun. I'll wear all kinds of heavy stuff, but no clowns for me. Thank you very much. And saying that's all right. So that wraps up another week. That wraps up the month for the Red, White, and You show with the military medium. Thanks so much for watching or listening and watching on Mevo if you're watching right now. And if you want to be a guest on a future episode, please go to my website, themilitarymedium.com. Send me an email and said, yo, dude, I want to be a guest. Absolutely, we'll have you on. So thank you so much for listening.